Since here we are talking about the Kubernetes network, we have to talk about kube-proxy. We haven't touched anything kube-proxy before, so from now on, let's talk about a kube-proxy. So kube-proxy is the process running on each node for layer 4 TCP or UDP load balancing. Yeah, so this is a kube-proxy page. So in order to talk about a kube-proxy, we needed to talk about Kubernetes services. From the network point of view, let's talk about this virtual IPs and a services proxy. And this is the one. This argument, kube-proxy argument, is the one I'm interested. For the Kubernetes cluster services load balancing. So it has proxy mode has 3 modes: user space mode. So here is the user space mode diagram. So pretty straightforward. Load balance to those pods. Right now, the default proxy mode is IP tables. So on each node, for each services, for each cluster services, there will be a few IP table rules in the NAT table for each services. Can be messy when you have a lot of services. So this is the diagram for the kube-proxy IP table mode. So basically, IP table works as a node balancer, layer 4 TCP or UDP load balancing. So the third one is proxy mode is IPVS. It's a IP virtual server, which is the Linux virtual server in Linux kernel. And this is the method. Proxy mode I prefer. It is less messy than the IP tables. So this is a diagram here. Virtual server IP or services IP, and then the real server is the backend pod. Yeah. So for example, on my master node, I can use this IPVS admin account to list the Kubernetes cluster services. So right now I have 2 cluster services. This is started by default, which is the cluster services for the Kube API, for the secure Kube API server. So this is my master node IP and the Kube API secure services. This is the real server IP. This is a virtual IP, virtual listener port. This is another cluster services. It's a Nginx services. The pod, two Nginx pod, cluster services IP. Yeah, this, by the way, this is a round robin for load balancing method. Yeah.